Have you noticed that the poorest people on earth are often those who work the hardest? Think about it. Let's use the construction of a building as an example. We have the architect. He designs the plan. He gets approval. Then he gets paid handsomely. His work is done. We also have the engineers who coordinate the execution of the project. These guys get paid huge amount of money, but during the entire life of that project, the people you see most on site are the laborers. That the people who dig the foundations, they carry the sand, carry the block, mix the cement, do everything. They work, they spend hours and hours in the sun working hard. We can visibly see their effort because their bodies are almost always exhausted. But the painful thing is, these people are rarely the highest paid in the entire process. That proves that effort alone is not what the market rewards. Let's not even talk about the market, the fruit seller across the street. You see them, that woman, she's always in the morning, in the night, she's there in the rain, in the sun, she is there, she's consistent, reliable, she's always there. But don't you agree that most of these people are struggling financially? So we need to ask the question, if hard work produced success, why are the hardest workers not the most successful? It comes down to a belief we were all conditioned with. And what's that belief? Many of us grew up hearing messages like, work hard, bury your head, grind it hard, do this, that, then stay consistent, your time will come. It sounds moral, it feels moral, it sounds safe, it appears very safe, but over time you look around and you realize that your effort isn't even producing proportional outcome. A few weeks ago, I was on the phone with one of my friends who was learning a digital skill. And while we were on the phone, I could see that he was frustrated. I could feel it from the conversation. He started complaining, venting. Oh, so he was at the verge of even quitting. So I tried to encourage him. And I said, oh God, he said, hey, Oza, listen, at this point, don't even tell me anything about motivation. Don't motivate me. I quit. Yeah. What's not working is not working. Forget it. Don't motivate me. In fact, call me when you want to call me. I'm a quitter. I have failed. Yes. I am lazy. I'm a drifter. I'm drifting. All sorts of things. Now, this is somebody I know. He's my friend. He's not lazy. When we talk about hard work, this guy is hard working. He's not lazy. But as I listened to him throughout that conversation, what I could hear was burnout. He was completely burned out. So why was he burned out? It's because his effort lacked structure. Any outcome that produces a result must be structured. When your effort is not structured, it's just like, it's always like pouring water into sand. And this is where a lot of business owners and creatives burn out. You're always there every time. You are reliable, you are consistent, you put in all the hours, you do everything that's required. Yet, after a few years, nothing. You failed because effort wasn't meant to be alone. Structure is the only difference between struggling and making progress. And those who appear to be ahead, those who appear to be doing well, aren't necessarily more talented. They are only intentional. They are intentional about who they are, who they serve, and what outcome they create. And it is this intention that compounds over time. Hard work is only productive when it is supported by three things. I call them the multipliers. Number one, direction. Oh, I used to be very busy. I mean, when I say busy, I mean VERYBUSY. Very busy. But I was unclear. I was totally unclear about who I was, what I stood for, and what I was selling. But right now, if you ask me, I can tell you clearly, I stand for wealth creation. I stand for effective communication for business owners. I stand for financial literacy for creatives. It wasn't always like this. I got my direction after I answered one question. What exactly am I building toward? Oh, you don't want to know how scattered my efforts were before I got direction. And after I got my direction, I finally felt the difference between movement and progress. So you want to make sure that you answer that question. What are you building toward, so that you can have a direction? Number two, leverage. Listen, you can't do everything alone. There is no one wealthy person, there is no one successful person who became successful without using leverage. Leverage is what allows your effort to multiply beyond your physical capacity. And there are basically three types of leverage people use most commonly. Number one, OPM, other people's money. This is most common with investors. There are projects you want to execute. Your money, you can't use your money. You have to use other people's money. That is leverage. You are leveraging other people's money. OPM. Number two, OPT, other people's time. You know that you can't do everything alone by yourself. So you only have 24 hours for the day. And most of the hours, if you have to be honest with yourself, there are days or there are times you are highly unproductive. So you need to leverage other people's time. Number three, OPK, other people's knowledge. You don't know it all. There are things you want to do. There are people who already have this knowledge. You leverage their knowledge to get ahead faster. You only do as much as your leverage allows. Now that brings us to the number three, communication. It's not even enough to have the skill. Having the skill doesn't translate to success. No. One thing is to have the skill, another thing is to communicate it. So aside having the skill, you also need to learn how to communicate it. If people cannot understand what you do and why it matters, trust me, there is nothing you will do that will matter. Learn to communicate. But at the foundational level, you need effort. But unfortunately, that's where most of us focus on. So I want you to answer me sincerely. What exactly are you building toward? Once you are clear, it's time to use leverage. Then communicate it and multiply your efforts. That's how you escape the trap of hard work and a life of struggle. I hope this video helped you. And if it truly resonated with you, I'd like to hear from you. Where do you think your efforts might be misaligned? Until I see you again next time, free together.